Today I wanted to share some of my plus 10 projects for this year, and of course they're all Sacred Stones characters. I already showcased Little Lyon and Young Innis earlier, but today I'll be showcasing my plus 10 Valter with a very fun build as well. Got lucky with some free summons, so I decided to just pull the trigger and put together something wild. After them talking about these three, I'll have some more gameplay running in the background because I want to chat about some other units I'm thinking about building as well. First off, here is Young Lyon. I was not originally planning to plus 10 him, but it just took me so dang long to get a single dual Erica and Ephraim that I just started pulling blue orbs as well, and Leon decided to cooperate. I was thinking of plus 10 the original Leon since you guys are fine, and I might still do it later, but for now I'm very happy with Little Lyon. Well, I've had him at plus 10 for a bit now. I wasn't able to finish this whole build until a couple weeks ago when I was able to get Midori from one of the daily rotating banners, sacrificed her for close foil, and boy has it not disappointed. I don't have a ton of strong close counter units, but Little Lyon does the job very well, and with low attack and res combined with his tome, he's able to inflict -9 attack and res debuffs, which makes him incredibly bulky, and he does a ton of damage. I went for the attack super boon because more attack is fun, and I do think he could use a more self-assist skill, but I've just kept defense and res gap for now. Assists and specials are flexible, and overall I'm very happy with how he's turned out. Definitely looking forward to using him a ton more for PvE and PvP. I think he's done pretty good so far, and he's my only plus 10 mage project at the moment. Speaking of mages, I have been slowly accumulating copies of Noel from free red summons over the past year, but I think I'm only at 7 total. Not sure what direction I want to go with him in terms of build either. I have also been thinking about merging La Rochelle with her new refine. I have an incredible amount of feathers stocked up from over the years, so that's not an issue. Again, it's just seeing what fodder I have on hand. I think she'll be my next focus since I finish off these 3 units. Moving on, next is Young Innis. No surprises here. As soon as I saw his stats and that crazy unique bow, the plus 10 was guaranteed. Obviously, I'm just waiting for the last copy from the Ephemeral comic manuals later this year, but 2 extra stat points aren't stopping Innis from being an absolute monster. My only other colorless plus 10 unit was Tethys, who is fantastic, but she's my support dancer. I also did not have an invested archer in my barracks, so Young Innis kind of just fills a lot of roles I was looking for. Now, I kind of went a little overboard with skills because I didn't want to waste any skill inheritance slots. Here's one set of skills for potential builds. I upgraded to Swiss Spirit 3 and got Times Pulse for the instant charge, Ruptured Sky, Glimmer, or Moonbow. I also have no follow-up to fully pierce through slower units who try to stop doubles. In addition to these skills, I also grabbed Attack and Speed Solo 4, Low Speed and Defense, and Deadeye. I got Deadeye because I use Shinon for Times Pulse, and while it's not necessary, Deadeye is still its own type of damage special that I wanted to have for experimenting. Clearly, I can't use all of these skills at the same time, but that's how much I like what Young Innis brings to the table, and he's a great unit. For PvE content, I also have Desperation because you just can't tank every counterattack, and Innis has so much firepower on hand for 2 tapping. Now, I actually haven't decided on a boon to go with yet. Normally, plus speed would be an easy choice, however for the no follow-up usage or just trying to one-shot tanky foes with pre-charged specials, having any extra attack can make the difference. It is a very interesting use case against Fallen Edelgard where Young Innis can actually one-shot her with Ruptured Sky. It is an incredibly close fight though, and I would have to be against Edelgards who aren't super buffed up with health bonuses from like Blessings. If Innis doesn't one-shot her, then the Pawnfire counterattack is game over, so it's not a very safe method, but it's an option. Regardless, I'm very happy to finally have a beefy archer on my team. Last unit I want to share today is my Valter. Originally I plus 10'd him for fun when his refine came out late last year, but I never properly gave him a final build. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with Valter since ideally his refine wants a penalty on the foe so he can proc it immediately. I was thinking about Wyvern Flight because Valter kind of has stats to run it and his weapon does grant flat stats as well. Turns out I got really lucky this year with free summons because I got a Melody who has Wyvern Flight, and I also got Fallen Female Morgan who introduced the ridiculous Menace C skills. Turns out Wyvern Flight plus Attack and Defense Menace is really synergistic because Wyvern Flight relies on stats before combat, and Attack and Defense Menace applies defense buffs for Valter while debuffing the enemy's defense stat. This is perfect, and debuffed enemies also proc Valter's Cursed Lance Refine, so he gets some bonus stance and guard without needing to take damage first. While Fallen Female Morgan is quite the unit herself, I had to take the opportunity to put this build together, and it's not that bad. Obviously, would prefer if Valter didn't kill himself with recoil damage, but it is what it is, and I can run healing specials to fight a bit longer. Menace skills are just insanely good when they do activate, and this is a very neat build I was happy to test out. I think Wyvern Menace is also a very fitting name for the combo. I have Attack and Defense Solo 4, mainly because it's on both Melody and Fallen Morgan. They have some great skill, hair intense efficiency if you want the specific setup. Currently, I do find myself wanting a little extra speed for Valter, and Spider-Man Solo is kind of just a nice filler Sacred Seal. I think Heavy Blade is also good if I'm running Aether because I really want more healing on hand. Valter and the Wyvern Menace build is definitely the least consistent performer out of the bunch here, but I've enjoyed it so far. It's one of the more fun builds I've put together in Fae, and Valter's my only merged up flyer, so it's been nice to use him more. Now I just wanted to chat about the next unit projects I was thinking about while I have more gameplay in the background. Please feel free to share your own units you've been working on this year. I'm interested to see what you guys got. I did mention earlier about building up Noel and La Rochelle. For Noel, I don't know if I want to go for a player phase build with Fox Tome, but there's not a ton of other inheritable tomes to choose from. I was thinking of a tanky build like Little Lyon if I could get the red Valentine's tomes from this year, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. I guess I'll think it over while I get more copies to merge. As for La Rochelle, I do want to work with her Refine. I could just do something like Fury plus Desperation, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the attack debuffs and healing from Uvaldi. I definitely have an eye on those new catch skills. Maybe I could run low attack and speed or attack and res. Not too sure how I want to go about it since La Rochelle has super low defense and HP. We'll have to see about that. For some other low rarity projects, I was thinking about properly building Seth because the man deserves some respect. Maybe I'll just build around his Triangle Depth sword for now, but if I can get a more interesting inheritable sword, then I may go for a full-on fun combative build. For some other cavalry projects, we've got Orson and Spring Slay from this year. Orson isn't that bad, but he's basically supposed to just be off on his own, so I could just go with a solo type build, maybe if I could get another menace skill. As for Slay, I think his Springy Axe is pretty nice, and while I could just go with a basics with Spare or Desperation setup, I think that'd be fine. Ooh, maybe I could try a Ninja Masakari Axe's Brave build. Brave Axe Frederick was one of my first units I ever built back in the day, so that could be a fun throwback. For the most part though, I will probably wait until we get another batch of new Sacred Stones units, maybe if they come out this year, before I go fully hard on any unit builds. If anything, I'll merge up Noel and La Rochelle in the meantime, but I'm hoping for a fun demo project from some new Sacred Stones characters. It's not a ton of characters left, but a lot of them are from the early game of Sacred Stones, and I love just about all of those guys. Where is my motor the boulder? For now though, I'm quite happy with my projects this year. Looking forward to Choose Your Legends next, and I'm definitely going for Brave Erica and Gatekeeper. I do wonder what they're going to do for Erica's weapon since she just got another sword using ult this year. Considering the twins have already stolen the other secret weapons, Brave Ephraim got Garm, and little La Rochelle, who uses a staff, still didn't get Latona. I wouldn't be surprised to see Latona go to Brave Erica as a healer. Who knows what's going to happen though. Maybe she'll dual wield Siglin and Sigmund, which would be sick even if I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully my Orb Stash pulls through regardless though. That's all I got for now. I'll let the gameplay continue on. Thank you for watching. We got some new units to cover soon, so I'll see you guys there.
Lucky me.
I'll go and see.
Are you certain?
I'll think about it.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I hunger. Ha! A feast. Sate my bloodlust. Ah! Ah! Entertain me. I hunger. Ha! Entertain me.